What's up, guys? James Carter TV, continuing my 2016 NFL Draft recaps, and today we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's always funny to me whenever I get a comment saying, "Oh, I can't wait you to do insert my favorite team here." And actually, someone commented about this regarding the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm sorry you've been looking forward to this video because you are not going to like what I have to say today. Not a big fan of this Kansas City Chiefs draft at all. It was a team that really I wasn't paying much attention to during the draft, but now that we're after the draft and I'm looking at every team's draft, I don't know what they were thinking. They're taking a lot of risks here. Some may pan out. Most of them won't. And man, I am not on board with the philosophy in which the Chiefs went into this draft and implemented it in this draft. Let's get into it though. Enough talking. Let's start with their second round pick, 37th pick overall, defensive tackle Chris Jones out of Mississippi State. And my biggest problem with this pick, there were better defensive tackles on the board. Austin Johnson, who can play nose tackle. Defensive tackle Ashawn Robinson out of Alabama. Defensive tackle Jerron Reed out of Alabama. These three defensive tackles were better prospects than Chris Jones at this point. Chris Jones, a guy that's been inconsistent motor, inconsistent drive, had an up year, a down year, and an okay year during his collegiate career. And you question, when will he ever turn it on? I also question the need here. You just re-signed Jay Howard. Dontari Poe, is an upcoming free agent. So yes, you could say that you have a need at nose tackle, kind of, but I like Jay Howard. I think he's a good starter to have. And why don't you want to re-sign Dontari Poe exactly? Because I think he's a pretty good player. And I think he's worth re-signing. And I think there are bigger needs than worrying about losing Dontari Poe after the season, a season in which you could franchise him. So I'm not really on board with this philosophy at all, nor am I on board with the prospect. There is some upside here, so they get a C+ for that and that alone, but not in love with what the Chiefs were thinking here at all. We move on to the 74th pick, cornerback KeiVarae Russell out of Notre Dame. And this is the beginning of the downfall to me in this Chiefs draft, although I guess you can say the first pick was the beginning. Now, KeiVarae Russell, I like the prospect. Now, he missed the entire 2014 collegiate season because of academic improprieties, some issues academically. I don't know if he was failing. I don't know if there were some cheating scandals or what took place, but issues there. Missed the whole season, but he worked hard to come back. So, okay, he worked hard. In terms of a prospect, can get his hand on the ball, good amount of pass breakups, a guy that's sitting at 5'11", so just slightly average or to below average cornerback height, 190, I believe he's actually like 193, so has a good amount of muscle on his frame, can be involved in the run game a bit. I like the prospect here. I like the pick. I give it a B. But man, things are about to get bad. Hey, I say this is the beginning because they are about to triple dip at cornerback, and we'll get into that. Let's move on, though, to the 4th round, 105th pick overall, offensive guard Parker Ehinger out of Cincinnati. I don't know what they were thinking. I think this is a 2-round reach. This is a guy that I question his fit. He's 6'6", 310 pounds. That is the frame and the size of a tackle. And you're going to move him inside at guard. He played at right tackle, guard, left tackle in his collegiate career, so he bounced around a little bit. Wasn't particularly dominant at any of those spots. I don't think he's a very good run blocker at all. I think he has huge issues in that department. And he may only start for you because there are guys on your offensive line that quite frankly should not be starting. So I think he may start for that aspect, but I don't think this is a guy that's ever going to be a good starter at the NFL level. I give it a C-. We move on, and this is the second cornerback the Chiefs took in this draft. We have cornerback Eric Murray out of Minnesota. Now, let's keep in mind, The Chiefs drafted, what was it, three or two cornerbacks in last year's draft in Marcus Peters, in EJ, or what was his name? EJ Gaines or Philip, no, Steven Nelson, and then you have Philip Gaines at the cornerback position and Marcus Cooper at the cornerback position for the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that in mind, the Chiefs take cornerback Eric Murray. And I question if he's going to make the team. I think he will, but I'm not sure on that. And this is a guy that's similar to KeiVarae Russell. Similar height. He has a little more build on him. He likes to be a little more involved in the run game, assuming he's on the field. But if in order for him to be on the field in run plays, he's probably going to have to be a starter for you. Because why the hell else will you have a cornerback on 1st and 10 or on 1st and 10 or maybe a 3rd and 3. Why else was a corner? If you're going to put a cornerback out there on these spots, in these situations and scenarios, he's going to be a starter for you. So you're taking a guy that you think should be a starter for you in the 4th round when you already have all these cornerbacks on the roster. I don't get the philosophy. I actually like the prospect, but the philosophy is so confounding to me. I have to give it a C+. And we're just getting started. We move on, 126 pick overall, wide receiver Demarcus Robinson out of Florida. This guy did almost nothing at Florida. Had an 810-yard 2014 season. Did down in production last season. A guy that had issues. Suspended 1, 2, 3 times his freshman year at Florida. Is suspended again his last season at Florida. The last season because he took money from some Florida marketing BS he shouldn't have been involved in. He was involved in it anyway. He said he made a mistake. Okay. He spent 45 days in a rehab type facility after his freshman year. He says he's moved on. Okay, but this is way too much risk here. The 4 times, no one's been suspended 4 times in this draft except for this kid. Look at him as a player. 6'1", 200 pounds. Okay, nice size. Is he a great athlete? Sure, for that size, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't even say he's a good athlete. I say he's okay. 4 or 5 speed. Can do some yards after the catch and stuff like that. But man, this is a risk. And in the 4th round, why are you taking a risk like this? You're better off taking Jordan Payton or Rashard Higgins or Tajay Sharp than these guys. Or like a guy like Demarcus Robinson right now. I give it a C-. We move on, 5th round, 162nd pick overall, quarterback Kevin Hogan. And actually the pick in this draft I like the most. This guy is an Alex Smith 2.0 type. A lot of people are talking about Cody Kessler, saying he's Alex Smith. He wishes he was Alex Smith. Kevin Hogan is more like Alex Smith, a guy that can move around. This guy ran a 4.78 40. Alex Smith is faster than that, but a guy that he put up one of the highest 40-yard dashes at the combine. A guy that is really accurate within 15, 20 yards, like an Alex Smith, and I think could grow. My only reservation, the reason this isn't in the A category is because you already have Aaron Murray. So why are you taking this guy when you already have Aaron Murray? Does Aaron Murray suck? What about Tyler Bray? Is he still there? So I question if he's going to be the number 3, or where he's going to fit in, but I like the idea. I give it a B+. We move on. Oh, God. And this is the worst of them, to be honest. I mean, right now, this is the worst. We have 165th pick overall, wide receiver Tyreek Hill out of, West Alabama. Chiefs fans, look, I understand. You got a guy that is very athletic. Oh my God, he ran a 4.29 allegedly at his pro day or workout or whatever. That's great. The guy's a clown, and not only a clown, he's a degenerate. He's an absolute imbecile. You can't do it. This guy, in case you don't know, choked, maybe not choked out, because choked out insinuates that he killed her, but choked his pregnant girlfriend. Is currently facing a 3-year probation, and the only reason it's that light is because the girlfriend's family took it easy on him. Said, we're going to take it easy on you. We're only going to give you this sentence. This is much worse than what Ray Rice did in the damn elevator. And now you're drafting this guy with a 5th round pick. This guy, you're not going to know who he is because he's probably not going to get on the field. As a prospect, okay, he's 5'10", 182 pounds, needs to put on size, isn't a very good wide receiver in his own right, can't get off of press coverage, isn't very physical, didn't put up any production whatsoever at West Alabama because he couldn't play, didn't put up any production at Oklahoma State, 184 yards, who cares? And now you're telling me one day we're going to wake up like we did to Javon Belcher. I'm going to read an ESPN headline saying Chiefs wide receiver chokes out his wife in the future. This is something I'm going to read. And yet again, you're going to have a guy that's dominating headlines for the wrong reasons. I give it a D-, and the only reason it's not an F is because, yes, there is potential. Oh my God, he ran a 4.29. But you have to ask yourselves, where is our moral compass? Do we just not give a damn? Do we just want to sign guys? You're an athlete, come in here. Because you might as well go down to Guantanamo Bay. Because I'm telling you right now, you'll find athletes down in Guantanamo. But the problem is, they're in Guantanamo. D-. We move on. 6th round pick, 178th pick, cornerback DJ White. The rant continues. You take a cornerback, the 3rd cornerback in this draft. You have Marcus Peters, Marcus Cooper. You have Steven Nelson, Phillip Gaines. Now you have KeiVarae Russell, Eric Murray, and now DJ White. What are you thinking? I don't get it. It's a D+. Now you look at DJ White as a prospect. He's 5'11", the same type of cornerback as KeiVarae Russell, as Eric Murray in terms of length. And length matters. If you would have gotten a 6'3" cornerback, I would have said, okay, this is a guy that you can at least say, we're going to throw this guy out here whenever we have to go up against Demarcus Thomas, or when we have to go up against any other tall wide receivers. He's a specialist. He's a guy that's doing a certain role for this football team. But this isn't the case. And I actually like DJ White as a prospect. But will he make the team? I don't think he's going to make the team. I don't get the philosophy. It's a D+, and we end with linebacker Dadi Nicolas out of Virginia Tech, and I like this pick. Now, the only question with him is, I like taking athletes. In the 6th and 7th round, I like taking athletes that obviously, didn't choke people out. So, I like that aspect of it, but where does he fit? He's only 235 pounds. He's going to need to put on some size. He may not fit as an outside linebacker, and if he doesn't, he may not fit anywhere else. So that only limits it to a B, but there is potential there, so I give you that. But man, I am not a fan of this Chiefs draft. I don't know what Andy Reid was thinking. I don't know what Glenn Dorsey was thinking. But man, there's a lot of risk here. I think I see a lot of headlines coming. When you have Demarcus Robinson and Tyreek, you're damn right you need wide receivers. But you don't need these guys. And I don't know how taking these guys are going to help out your football team. I expect you're going to see some headlines soon. And you're already seeing headlines. Tyreek Hill is telling the fans, you can hate me, that's all right. And they should. And I can't believe it. I'm just going to end the video here. By the way, I put in all these grades and my GPA calculator came out to a 2.13 GPA. And really, this is the second lowest, tied for the lowest, actually, GPA I've given thus far. Tied, I believe, with the Arizona Cardinals, but it's the worst. The Arizona Cardinals had a better draft than this. This is the worst draft, the most bust-filled draft, and they didn't even have a damn first-round pick. They traded back in the first round, and you're going to see some headlines here. Really, they're lucky that I'm pretty nice when it comes to grading, like I think I might be the nicest grader out there because it is so hard. I mean, look at these grades I've given today. And it is still so hard for you to end up with a GPA lower than 2. It hasn't happened this year. This is my first year I'm implementing this system. And I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I'm sure one year there's just going to be a horrible draft I actually give a D to. Because it's so hard to give a D. And I don't give Fs. I don't think there's an F pick. Even Tyreek Hill has some potential. I mean, if you take me, then yes, I'll give you an F. Because I'm not going to play shit for you. Although I might be a pretty good wide receiver. 6'1", 200 pounds. I think I'd be a good wide receiver. But regardless, I don't get it. Too many risks. You needed players that can actually come in and play well and be smart, good football players for your football team. And you started off horrible in 2015. And once these headlines start creeping up and popping up with all of these guys, I wonder if yet again you're going to start off as bad as you did. And this time, maybe you won't be able to pick yourselves back up. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.